Hey guys, just starting out our video this week. This is Tuesday, and this is time for us to begin class for week 12. A little late in publishing, just a few hours, but I'm getting caught up. I hope you guys are doing really well also. It's very important to me that you guys are doing really, really good. Um, I would like you guys just to know that I think about you often. I kind of miss the camaraderie of the room a little bit. Miss our old classroom and stuff, but that's just the way it is right now. So I wanted to take some time today with you all today and just um, want to let you know if you would need some screen time to talk about something that's going on with your program, if you're developing. Uh, there's a couple students have already hit me up. I'm on Skype. I like Skype more than I like this Zoom stuff going on. I just don't feel really secure with it. But I have a couple students that hit me on Skype, and I work with them. And I had one last night just say, "Hey, can you look at this?" And instead of publishing up your entire project, it's like, "Hey, are you available?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And you can just share your screen with me. And there's a little bit of a learning curve, but Skype, if you download it, make sure you get Skype personal. It's not Skype corporate because that's just one of those things that um, would help with us being more effective in our communication. You not having to put your entire project up, you just share your screen with me. You know, close down your Minecraft and all your other games, and then share your screen with me and show me what you're actually working on. And that's a little bit of a joke there, but anyway. The other thing is, for those of you that don't have the availability to, because you don't have Microsoft Office, I want to show you guys something, and it's a product I've used for years, especially, and it might even work. There's a thing called Star Office 7 that's free. There's a Star Office 9. This is an open source project. I've used it before. It's right here at staroffice.org. For $14.95, you can get the full blown version. You can download it, you can install it. It's pretty light, but it would allow you to open up Word documents and stuff like that. If you're planning on, if you don't have Microsoft Office, and you're planning on moving on to the next course, and it might be handy to look at Word documents when Mr. Thumman forgets to save them as PDF. The other thing is about the Word documents is it's easier to, let me close that down there. Just with some work stuff I was done with for a while. With Star Office, um, my thoughts gone there for a second. No big deal. But just I've used our Office before. It's a good product. It helps you open up Word documents, and it's also better for the cutting and pasting of code snippets in the Word document. I understand it's a little bit harder to get it out of the PDF. I understand that Word wraps and all that other stuff. So you have to work a little bit harder to get code samples out of the PDF, and that really kind of stinks. Star Office 7 will probably open up my documents, but Star Office 9, I downloaded Star Office 7 the other day, and it doesn't quite zoom out in the Excel. It has Excel, Word, and PowerPoint, basically, except they call it spreadsheet and word processor and um, presentation or something like that. And so it's a generic version. Star Office works on Linux, Unix, and Windows. It was originally written for a open OS model for so that those people that were running X Windows could run to open up Word documents and stuff like that. So um, it's a good product. It's an open source project and stuff like that. So something to think about if you've wanted Microsoft Office, if you need Microsoft Office, but you don't want to pay the arm and the leg for it, or you don't want to sign up for a Microsoft subscription, because Office 365 is a big subscription mess right now, and um, I just I don't know, I'm kind of even liking Star Office a little bit more than now that Microsoft's gotten into a subscription. But all right, I'm going to set that off to the side here on my other monitor, and let's get back into this week's class. So I talked to you guys about Star Office. It's not Microsoft Star Office. It is just truly Star Office. So let me fix this in the document. I'll be saving this document at the end of. I might be adding some stuff to this as we go forward. So no big deal there. All right. What we're going to do, I'm going to show you guys a couple of things. One of the things you guys might realize, and this is something we've learned about Windows 32, every set of APIs have their own little quirks. And you may have noticed it's like, oh, okay, like I'll grab the gas can. We're gonna play around with gas can today. We're also going to talk a little bit about some scoring methodologies and actually coming up with a score. So let me go ahead and shrink this down here and get me kind of out of the way. Put me up in the corner here. And let's just take class Win9. Let's just go ahead and run this. We're going to make sure this version is running and good and healthy. If not, we're kind of in trouble. But I think it's going to run. Okay. So here's the size of the field. The field goes all the way down here. We have some extra space here and we have some extra space up here. We may look at trying to make this footprint a little bit smaller today just to make it a little bit more efficient screen. Obviously, I'm going down way too much. So also when we play it, notice that you can put it in somehow we're not doing a few things. We can get around the field. But I'm going to go directly to level 2. Because I put in level 2 and we know that works. And so I'm going to say done. I'm going to say okay. And then I'm going to hit an arrow key and it's going to kick you on to play. And there's level 2. And notice, like, if I die on level 2, okay, normally, I don't know if this version is going to do this or not, but if I play now, I go over here, I get the gas can. If it's like your code, which I played with this, see the gas can disappears. Well, what have I done different? Let me show you what I've done different. There's a few other things we're going to talk about. And I'm going to leave the actual game running in the background, and then I'm going to shrink my Visual Studio here real quick. All right. So, when we die, okay, so we're going to go down to check objects. And this is a little sneaky because there's 2 places to do this. So I'm going to go down and check objects here. And so there's a let's play refresh, and then we're going to go down and check objects. And we've been doing this before, but when we destroy the car, what if they didn't get the gas can? What if you die before you got to the gas can? Well, the image of that gas can is still there. That window handle is still active. Okay, you with me? And so if you destroy it, if you put it down there twice and destroy it once, it's still there. So everything we don't want on the screen, when we refresh the screen, we got to kind of clean up. So we not only do we destroy the car, but we destroy the can when we die. Well, I did that and that worked. And then on level 3, I kind of found out, and this is in check objects here, but I also found out that in Let's Play Refresh, because in check objects, you can die from hitting an object. We've all accepted that. But in Let's Play Refresh, that's Let's Play Net, there's Let's Play Refresh, we can also die by running out of gas, right? So we destroy the window H car, but we also, when we destroy the window H car, we also have to make sure we destroy the gas can. So we're going to go down here and grab this code. I thought I threw it in there, but I guess I was going to leave that there as an example. So we're going to just destroy the gas can and get that cleaned up. And then the whole array will reload. And then that'll be the end of that. And we're just destroying the actual window handle. We're not actually running the full code. So we're going to, if we run out of gas, we're going to destroy the car. And then we're going to go ahead after we turn the play mode off, and we're going to destroy the gas can. That's just one of the things I found that make my code run a lot cleaner. That's maybe something you guys really don't need to worry about. But hold on, before we do this, a couple of things I'm going to point out is that in a lot of things that we're doing, if you're going to make code modifications, you may want to back up your code. So obviously, according to the Word document, we're on week 12, and I still have a Class Win09 project going, which was the one that we did the retrofit to. Make sure you guys get the retrofit done, especially when we start shrinking things down and playing with sensors and stuff like that. All of your sensor code should be in one place. So when you get up to check objects, all you should have is this real simple clean code. You shouldn't have those big ugly if statements. What we've done is we've captured these if statements. Sorry, I hit my microphone there. We've captured these if statements. We've got them done and out of the way, and all of our sensors in one place, regardless of the direction we're going. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just do this way. I'm going to use the same project, and I'm going to just see if this works. I'm going to say add new item, and I'm going to call this a C++ CPP file, and I'm going to call this class Win12. And you guys have seen me do this before, but it's really a good habit to get into. Obviously, you can sit there and say, well, Mr. Thelman, you're not doing it consistently. And I'm like, I hear you. So I'm going to take all the code from class Win9 and put it in class Win12. I'm going to leave class Win9 there. I'm going to go ahead and go Control A. And we're just going to comment all that out there. So if I do have to go back and get something or save myself, that's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and save the entire project, and I'm going to stop the entire project, and I'm going to rerun it. Yeah. Whenever you do something like this, make sure it's still running the way you expect it to be running. I mean, just don't jump in and start. There's two things I've seen people do is just jump in on the last week's project, and then all of a sudden they have trouble rearranging your code or something like that, and then you get yourself in a tailspin here. So okay, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna start. And did everything load quickly? We hit a hay bale. That's a good sign. Let's just get a good test. And see, I finished with 23% gas left, and I didn't even get the gas can. So straight beeline to the finish line. That's really good. But we're going to be talking now about making life a little bit more difficult. But now that I have class Win12 up and running here, let's go back to the example I had. I'm going to go down here and grab the destroy the gas can. All right, Control C, and then I'm also going to go ahead and when we go to Let's Play Refresh, then if we run out of gas, Control V, and then we'll test it. Okay, and let's do this. And so just takes a second to test, right? And so making simple changes is like, well, what did that do? And sometimes I think you guys, if you're not testing like after every change, then you might need to check out, what you're doing here. But I'm going to go ahead and run out of gas here. Turn this down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to run out of gas. Okay, I ran out of gas. So the gas can's still there. I hit enter. I play again. And then I'm going to come down. I'm going to get the gas can. And it's going to disappear. Did I get rid of that line of code? Yep, I did get rid of that line of code. So that did work. If that's not there, that gas can would remain there. Okay? Now, let's talk about a few things now. How big is our initial screen? We set that up initially to make our initial screen a little bit bigger. So let's go back and look at the size of our initial screen. It was the first one we initialized. And so we're going to go up here and look at when we paint it. I said it was 1400 by 1200. Well, it's bigger than my screen. So what happens if we make it 1,000? It shouldn't be more than 1,000 really, because our screen is 800 by 1200, right? So 1400 gives us a little bit space off to the side, and then 1,000 high makes it, kind of okay. But we have a lot of empty white space on the top, so we might be able to even make it a little bit more smaller or compact. We might be able to get this down to even 800, 850 or something like that. But we're going to play around with that. We're at 1,000 right now. Let's see where we actually paint the actual field. Where's the field at? Again, we're just doing a little bit of consolidation here. Just wanted to see if we could clean this up a little bit. I just noticed there was a lot of white space there. And then I made the field a certain size of 800 by 1200, and then I just realized it's just, see, we even still at 1,000, we have some additional white space here. We have some additional white space here. So level, the user no longer inputs level. So level is going to be moving over here today, and this whole field can move up a little bit, and this can move up a little bit. So we're going to be adjusting a few things, and just to see, how small we can get this. So just give you a smaller imprint, let you get around it, make it a little bit smaller game, so we're not hogging up all the screen. Might be a good thing to do. Now notice this says class Windows 7. It's not class Windows 7, so let's go ahead and fix that. We were right there on the screen code before, so let's go ahead and fix this. We're going to go up where we paint the screen. Again, we're coming down. There's the screen. It's a little bit big, so let's make that 950. See if we can make that work. Let's just see where we're putting field right now. H field, where are we putting that? That's down here in the objects. And so we have the name starting at 100 over and 50 up. That's the top corner of name. And then we have the level at 90. So really, and we know our code doesn't really matter where this is, so we're going to move that to 10, okay? And we're going to move this to 50, okay? And then we're going to do our edit at, for our name at 10. And we're going to do, for right now, the edit for our field. Well, that's our H name, and then our field is over there, and our field per is over there. So that's fine. So there's instead of 90, let's just be at 50. So we've moved those up, so 10, and then 20, and then we have 20 more. That's 50, and then that's, So that's going to be 90. So we can go ahead and let our field now. That's the field. That's all that. So the field itself was starting at 120, and now it's can start at 80. So we can move that up to 80, and the field is 1200 by 800. So makes things a little bit smaller. Let's just go see what that looks like. Again, we're just trying to get more conservative space here. Just want to see if we can scrunch this down a little bit, make it a little bit more useful for some of the people that have smaller screens. And so now we have a smaller game. We still have some white space down here. That's not necessarily a big deal. We have a little bit of white space here. Feel and all this is going to move up, or actually it can move this way over here a little bit more. So while we're looking at, we can just fix that, right? And we might as well just move level while we're at it, right? Because level, we're not going to be wanting people to update. We want to know that we can update it, but we don't want them to update it. So there's a H level that's going to be an edit. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that border on that. That's part of the process that we're going to do this week. And we're going to create a window. So we're field per and all that. So we wanted to move feel over a little bit, 1200 at 1200. So move this to 1220 maybe, and let it be 70. So just move that static label over field just a little bit, and then we'll leave field per at the same level. Right above it, that's sitting right at 90. So let's say levels at 50 right now, and let's just put level at 1220. So here's level instead of at 270. Let's put that at 1220. Let's go ahead and put that at. So we're going to move that over there, and that's the edit of that. So that's the edit of the level. So let's go ahead and make that 100 wide, because that doesn't have to be so wide. And let's go ahead and do 1280. So that'll get rid of the box off of that. And then we move the feel over just a little bit. We're going to see. We might just mess it up a good time. Okay, then at 1220, we're going to put, that's the name. H name is not moving, Dad. Okay, so there's a H name. Let's look at this. Okay, so level's moving over, but name is not. So make sure we're moving the right thing. So let's move the level to move over with the 1220. And level only really needs to be 50. Let's see what this looks like. So we're going to kill it. We're going to recreate it. So again, this is just adjusting the screen, making things a little bit smaller, a little bit cleaner. Let's just see if we can clean this up a little bit. Okay, so levels over there. The box is, so really, let's go see where we put the edit, because the edit should be there. And so there's the level there at 1220. And then the actual feel is there, and then the feel per is there, and then the level is at 12. Let's make it 1300, right? And we're going to go ahead and put 1 in the level so we can actually see what's there, because that's going to be the default level, and then we can override it. That'll also help us be able to see it. So let's go ahead and run it again. Again, we're just going through a few iterations here. And let me get a little sip of coffee here. So that's why I put the 1 there. You see what I'm saying? There's a 1 right there. And that's why I haven't moved the field up yet. But the level needs to be, but you can see that's an iterable field because that's an editable field, just like feel is. But we don't grab the value out of it. But if we need to change the level, we can do that. So that needs to move over here by where feel is. So let's see where the feel edit is. H level. Oh, we wanted that at, where is feel per? I'm throwing 100 out there, and that's sitting right there at 1300. So let's put it the same place where feel is, 1300. And 1300 is obviously there, so let's go ahead and make it 1310. There's a reason why, because, okay, let's see what this looks like. See, we can, once we build, the beautiful thing is, the way the window objects work, is once we build the fields, and once we build, so I can come here and go 5, and, oh, my done button is gone. We have to go find the done button. So it disappeared completely. So the button done got moved. So let's go find our button, Control F, button. So there's our button. And our button ended up getting moved for some reason. It was at 470 and 90 and 50, so 470 over, 90 down. I don't know why that moved so much, because it should, right? That should very well be visible. But let's move it up to 50 in case it might be, yeah, it's under the field, isn't it? So button was missing, so we moved that up to 50. We probably need to move it up to 20, right? Because we're going to put in your name and say done, and that's going to be a 20. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So again, just tweaking things, making things a little bit more room. And then now that we got all that stuff moved, we can go ahead and have the field start at 70. And if the field, no, that's not the field. Silly. Put that back. So let's go find our field. Field is getting created down in, yep, it's not getting created down there. So we have a field here. There's H field per, there's a level, there's a button, and there's a field. And it's 1200 by 800. And so we had a little blank space, and then we had that 20, 30. So we can actually put the field at 50. At 1, 50. And so if it's 50 plus 1200, all we need is really 850 then to run the entire game. So we can come up here then and massage this. Again, we've taken a little bit more off this. So this massages all this stuff. Again, a bunch of little minor changes, and then all of a sudden this is what we get. Let's see what this looks like. Again, it's a much smaller window. Done can move up. We're going to leave this here, and now our field isn't quite completely visible, right? So let's go ahead and move this button up 10, because, so let's go find our button and move that up 10 and move the field up just a little bit more. So let's go find our button and move our button up 10. It's down here somewhere. There's our button. So it was at 50, and we were like, that really needs to be at, oh goodness, it needs to be at the same level as the name, and the name was at 10. Looky there. So enter your name is at 10, and then the edit field for your name is also at 10. So we'll just go ahead and set the button right there at 10. So they all line up together, and we know they're all 20 high. So that's 10 plus 20, 30. And so the field can actually start now 40 and fit in there just fine. So there's our cheering wheel on the window, so we can move this up 10. Okay, and now that'll give us a little bit more space, but we still ran out of space. So let's go ahead and go up here to the size of the window and make this 870. Okay, so that should make the entire field fit on the screen and make all the objects fit on there. And now we've moved our level off to the side, and it's not updatable, and it shows as 1. Okay, that is Mr. Tim moving the field way up too high, right? So let's go see what I did with the field. But there was room to move it down, so I want to make this 880. I think that'll work. Move that down just so there was some white space underneath it. I could have left it up there. That would have been a wise thing to do. But really, we know that we need to go to 40 here, because we have 10 buffer on top, and then that's 30, so this should look pretty good. I know this is slow and tedious, but I wanted you guys to see all the little places, because this is like a major, like, let's shuffle through the code and do the whole thing. And now we have a game that looks totally different. You put in your name, and we've lost our done button. So our done button needs to move up to 10 now. And I thought we moved it up to 10. We did. So create L button done. It was at 470.10. Did I not? And it really could be over at 3. Well, let me get it 400. Why is it not showing up? Wow, that's amazing. Right, well, programming, right? So it should be right there, 400x, 10. It should be right in here somewhere when the screen pops up. So there should be a done button right in here somewhere, right? So we put in a name, and there should be a button here somewhere. Okay, let's go look at the code. Now, here's our create window EXW. It's a button. It's done. It has a border, a child. It's H menu button 1, and it has this window handle, and it was at 400, 10, 0, 20. So we messed something up there with the button. Now I think I know what it is. It was supposed to be 1020 tall and like probably 50 wide, right? So it doesn't work to have a button 0 tall. So how big was that button before? Well, right there on line 356, I can go to the old code. This is why we do this. You know, what did you do, Mr. Tim, and what was it? Well, this is why you have your old code sitting over here. Even though it's a big comment, it's still a good reference. And so button was 470, 90, 50, 20. And those were good coordinates before. They're still good coordinates today. So why reinvent the wheel? I'm just going to go back over here and say, okay, again, that first step I showed you just saved us. Because I can jump over there and say, what was that? Because we're doing all these big retrofits, okay? And we're tweaking the way the program works. And so, let's see. I expect, since we had a backup plan, and it was just a tab away, we're probably going to have a button and probably a playable game. What would you know? The answer is absolutely snot. Okay. And there is no button there, folks. Great. So, that's the old button. Why is the old button not showing up? Because it's behind the screen. So we have to move it up to 10. So only one change. The button has to move up because we move field over. Right? Alright. So the default of the field is going to be 1. 1's allowed. So we say Tim. We put in our name, and that's going to be important later. And we say OK. And that's going to be field 1. As soon as it loads, and there we are. Alright, so that's real good. The gas can reloads. And now we have this. And I hit a brick wall. Alright. So, there you go. It wants me to try again, but then I can hit done. Or I can come over here now, and even though the user doesn't see this as an updatable field, but a display only field, I can sit here and go 3, and I can hit done and say OK. And when I hit my key here, my 3 key, I'm now on field 3. Now that's not very pretty, and for some reason play mode didn't work, but now that's set to field 3. I bet you play mode will work now. Try again, and now I'm on field 3, and yeah. That didn't quite work as good as I thought it would, but that's just demonstrating to you all that if we're adding more levels and you want to add a level and you want to go test that level, we'll tweak that a little bit as we work through it. So you guys will have the ability in your code, and developers do this all the time. It's not obvious to the user that they can jump over there and just change their level. They think it's something they have to earn, and it should be something they have to earn, but when you're a developer and you're developing new fields, that's something that you don't want to have to sit there and play the whole game over again, especially if you're having a Mr. Tim moment and you're like going, I can't play this game tonight and I can't get off level 1. We saw a little bit of that last week. All right, so we're back in our editors. Let's see what's on our to-do list. We want to make the game a little bit more interesting, okay? It's not the world's fanciest game, but again, the biggest thing is we're learning, one, debugging techniques, coding techniques, and also code modification techniques, because we're reaching a level now where just like going, okay, I got this, and now I have a new idea, and I want to go from here to here, okay? So we have another idea of like going, what if the gas can wasn't all in the same place? What if it was per level? And what if we modified Gcans to being a 20 by 4 array? Now, remember when we created our levels, we created the game for a default of 20 levels. We got 3 levels, but we can have 20 levels. But I'm kind of like saying, what if we make it available to where they can have up to 2 gas cans on each level? So gas can 1 would be XY, and then gas can 2 would be over here. And then when we create the gas cans, we can actually go and say, we want to be able to say, okay, we'll put a gas can here, and we'll mark that with a 4, and a gas can over here, and we'll mark that with a 5. And we'll put them kind of out of the way to where they have to kind of go and get them, and maybe even little hazardous locations to where they have to be super careful. And it just makes it a little bit more mentally challenging for them. So anyway, we want to be able to dynamically place the can, especially like where we had it that one time on level 2, kind of like off in the corner, and they had to go down and get it and then come back up and just couldn't run to the end. So we're going to modify gcans to 20,4, and I'll show you guys how we're going to do that. Oh, I don't want to cancel there. We're not closing words. Somebody just put a bunch of stuff in my Dropbox. So that was probably one of you guys working hard. I appreciate how hard you guys have been working on this stuff. So let's go ahead and do the gas cans. Here's our gas can variable here. And we're going to make this 20,4. And this is going to be a really simple mod because we've already done a gas can. We're just going to make it a little bit more dimensional. And then, so gas cans is going to get initialized right here. So on gcans, Control C. Okay. I think somebody wanted some assistance here. So who's making a star appearance in this? Let's see. They don't know this is happening to me. Yeah. Hang on, grouping. Let me have this open. Okay, let me go. There it is. Haha! And so go over here. This is the way I see you guys when I'm in email, because this is my Google Voice number. William ASL. I think I got it working. You might want to check it out, though, Shannon. And then I'll say, I surely will. And shrink that down here. I surely will. Recording this week's video. And you a live appearance. And so, little typo there, but he'll go, oh no, I'm on the screen. So all good, and GroupMe gets all fired up. So all good. So anyway, that's how it looks. All right, so let's get the gas cans rolling. So here's gas cans, and so we're gonna go through just like this and say gcans. So we're gonna say gcans. Right down here, gcans. And we're gonna, there it goes, more files, gcans, and we're gonna go right here at 1, comma, which is the level, 1, there is no comma, 10. This is gonna equal that one right there, where we want to put that can. We wanted it over about 700, and we wanted it down about 600. So gcans, one, yeah, we're going to do it just like this. It'll take a second to do this. 1, 2. So here's the x coordinate, the y coordinate of it. We're going to have it down just a little bit, and we're going to say 500. And we're just going to separate these out like this. And I'm going to do this. You know, because once you get going, you can. And 3, which is the second can, we're going to just put that to 0. And the 4, we're going to make that 0. And we're going to make this 0. So now, gcans has just gone multiple directions, but then let's go ahead and make this the second level for gcans. Control V, Control V. So we got level 1, then we'll have level 2, and then we'll have level 3, and then I'll get all this lined up. And you're like going, well, that's pretty cryptic, but then you're like going, yeah, that really is, but cryptic is how we set things up in data sometimes, because it's just straight data. This is just straight data, guys. Okay, so that's 2, and that's 3, and now we've got the can on all 3 levels correctly, and we only have 1 can, and the second can doesn't have a location. So let's go down to where we were throwing our cans before. Okay, so here's where we get the can, and here's where we destroy it. So instead of being 1, 1 represents the level now, and 1, so this would have been, this is where we put the can for level 3. So we're just going to still have put cans deal with 1 can. We're doing a really simple modification. So this is, instead of being can 1, this is all level 1. So really, let me move 500, 400 up here to top, and then we're going to get rid of this code here. So we're going to get rid of that right there. We're going to leave that there. We're not going to get rid of it. We're going to comment it out. How about that? And we're just going to know that that 1 can that we put in level 3 was at 500, 400. Okay, and we're going to get all these definitions right up here to top, which was right here, and we're going to put this one at 500, 400. So we have 1, 2, we have the level, position 1, position 2 is the first can, position 3, position 4 is the second can. We're not worrying about that. We're just seeing if we can get a new array where we can dynamically declare the cans. We're destroying the cans when we die or when we win, so now we can just grab a can and put it where we want it. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so and I'm going to leave it 7,500 for the second level until we decide where we want to put it. And that will help us understand where the scoring methodology is at. Let me check one thing here. Okay, we're 47 minutes into this video. And I'm going to get rid of this here. We'll see if this compiles. It probably won't because we've just taken out some definitions with gcans down below. But I'm going to go ahead and save this, and we're going to finish the gas cans when I come back. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and end this video so I can get it uploading, and then I'll start part 2 of week 12 immediately here in a few minutes. So we'll talk to you guys in a minute. Let me get this stopped because I don't want the video to be too long. YouTube will get grumpy. Okay, so this will be week 12.